What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So, Pokemon Go Fest 2020 is in full force all over the world right now, and it truly has been an amazing experience to be a part of. So, to celebrate Go Fest, I decided to take the spice to a new level and try out two newly introduced Go Fest Pokemon in the Go Battle League Great League. Yeah, I'm talking about Victini and Wash Rotom. Now, Wash Rotom was introduced yesterday, which was day one of Go Fest, where it photobombed the snapshot of your Pokemon. And Victini is obviously the final reward for Sunday's special research line. And I'm going to be running these two along with Skarmory. And to be honest, I was completely shocked at how well this team ended up performing. I mean, when I put this team together, I didn't expect it to perform as well as it ended up doing. And the main reason for that is I wasn't aware of how well Victini and Rotom would shape up against the Great League meta. But the reason why it worked so well is because both Victini and Rotom, even though they're extremely glassy and difficult to use, they just hit like a truck. They've got some fantastic charge moves which absolutely destroy and provide great coverage against most of what you're going to see in the meta. And Skarmory is just a fantastic generalist, and it's basically the glue that holds this team together and pretty much provides some nice coverage against majority of Victini's and Rotom's weaknesses as well. So some really exciting battles in here, and let's just get straight into it. Okay, moving on to the first battle here. I'm going to be leading with Skarmory, with Victini and Rotom in the back. And I'm going to be running Confusion, Psychic, and V-Create on Victini. V-Create is its signature charge move. And then Thundershock, Thunderbolt, and Hydro Pump on Rotom. So we have Skarmory into Scrafty. This is a very positive matchup because Scrafty is going to take super effective damage from the flying moves because of the fighting typing. And they make a switch into their Galarian Stunfisk. Now this is a pretty tricky situation for this entire team, right? Because Stunfisk can do super effective damage against both Rotom and Victini as well. So I'm just going to soak the charge move here and then switch into my Rotom. And because even though Rotom is taking super effective damage from those mud shots, it's going to take only neutral damage from rock slides, right? And this is too soon to be an earthquake, which is why I'm going to let it go through. It's going to do some heavy neutral damage. Like I mentioned, both Rotom and Victini are pretty glassy. So I'm just going to go straight for the Hydro Pump here. Because this is a newly introduced Pokemon, there's a chance that a lot of people may not be aware of its moveset. So I'm just going to go straight for it here. I'm really hoping they let this go through. And they let it go through. And pretty much one shot's there because it does super effective damage because of the ground typing. And like I said, because so many people are not aware of it, they probably thought it was an electric move or something. So it ends up working perfectly because now we maintain switch advantage. And even though that Scrafty has quite a bit of energy, we have a lot of loaded energy as well. And I'm going to throw the Sky Attack immediately here. This should either get the shield or finish off Scrafty. Let's see what they decide to do here. They do give up the shield, which is absolutely fine. And at this point, I'm expecting a switch out, but they are still staying in this matchup and they're going to throw a charge move. I'm not going to shield this because I'm really hoping this is a bait, but it ends up being an acid spray. So that's even better. It's a good thing that we didn't shield that. And they make a switch into their Registeel. I'm going to go into Victini. This is absolutely perfect. Victini has such a positive matchup against Registeel because both Flash Cannon and Focus Blast would be resisted. Flash Cannon is resisted because of the fire typing, while Focus Blast is resisted because of the psychic typing. As you can see, I mean, even though it's glassy, it does a decent amount of damage, but it can definitely take at least one of those, right? So I'm just going to build up to two V-Creates and then throw the back-to-back here. Obviously, you don't want to go immediately for it because V-Create lowers your defense harshly. It's pretty similar to Wild Charge. So you want to build up back-to-back and then go for it. So at this point, yeah, we have back-to-back V-Creates here. I'm just going to go for the first one. They should either get the shield or finish off Registeel. And even if they shield, I have another one stored up. So let's see what they decide to do here. They do shield that up, which is absolutely fine. I'm just immediately going to go for the V-Create, second V-Create here. And this is such a hard-hitting move. I absolutely love this move. And also the animation as well. It's just so cool looking. And it pretty much one-shots the Registeel there. And Scrafty is going to come back in. And because those counters are resisted, I'm going to be able to get to this, get to another V-Create. And this should pretty much finish off the Scrafty from this range. So Victini for the win, and I just tried to switch to Skarmory in case they had some health left, but that's just how hard-hitting V-Create is, right? Victini is absolutely fantastic. As you can see, I'm rocking the Victini t-shirt as well. So I absolutely love this Pokemon, to be honest. As soon as I started using it, I fell in love with it because it's just so awesome, right? It has such fantastic coverage against a lot of the meta. Do have to watch out for Pokemon like Azumarill, obviously, but you have Rotom in the back, which basically walls Azumarill, right? So that's why this combination works absolutely perfectly. So moving into the second battle here, we have Skarmory into Viscash. This is pretty good because this back line actually struggles against Mud Boys, right? Because both Victini and Rotom would have a hard time against Mud Boys. So it's a good thing we caught it on the lead here. And I'm just going to go straight for the Sky Attack. This is going to do some nice neutral damage to Viscash if it goes unshielded. And they're probably building up all the way to a Blizzard here. And yeah, Sky Attack gets the shield, which is absolutely fine. And at this point, I'm not going to shield this because it's probably going to be a Blizzard. It would do quite a bit of neutral damage to Skarmory. But typically in this team composition, I like to save as many shields as possible towards endgame. Like I said, with the shield advantage, both Victini and Rotom can absolutely destroy. So at this point, I'm just going to go straight for the second Sky Attack here. They should either get the shield or put this Viscash pretty low. Let's see what they decide to do here. They let that go through, which is absolutely fine. And at this point, I'm like, okay, this was too soon to be a Blizzard, which is why I'm not going to shield this. It's probably only going to be a Mud Bomb, which is going to be resisted because of the flying typing. And yeah, it's another Mud Bomb. And they're probably going to get to another one here. Yeah, this will put us pretty low. But I'm not going to shield this because it's not going to take us out, right? I'm really hoping that I can get to a Sky Attack and maintain Switch advantage. We already have shield advantage, so maintaining Switch advantage would be even better. So at this point, yeah, unfortunately, we lose the CMP there. And also we lagged a little bit as well. So they're going to throw a charge move, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to let it go through because I can just come in with Victini and confusion this Viscash down. And yeah, we lost Switch advantage, but it's still fine. We have a shield advantage. Let's see what they decide to bring in here. They bring in their Meganium. So this really tells me they have something in the back which is even weaker to Victini, because if you're going to bring a grass type into a fire type, then maybe they have a steel type in the back, right? So I'm not going to shield this because it was too soon to be an Earthquake. Luckily, it ends up only being a Frenzy Plant here. And also, it's a good thing they brought out their Meganium because Rotom in the back would struggle against it, right? So like always, I'm just going to build up to back-to-back V creates and then throw here. This should definitely one-shot the Meganium from this range. If it goes unshielded, we get the shield. Absolutely perfect because we have another one ready to go. And this should definitely one-shot the Meganium here. So again, doing super effective damage because of the grass typing. And they have a Skarmory in the back, which is expected. And I can come in with Rotom. Rotom completely walls Skarmory, and also we have a 2-shield advantage. And yeah, they pretty much decide to give up the match there. So Rotom is such a positive matchup against Skarmory. It's pretty similar to Lantern, isn't it? Because all of Skarmory's moves are going to be resisted or double resisted by Rotom, while Rotom is doing super effective damage with both Thunder Shock and Thunderbolt as well. So Skarmory in the back, I mean, this team does really well against Skarmory, Registeel, etc. in the back. And even Azumarill in the back isn't too much of an issue because Rotom has such a positive matchup against it. So moving into the third battle here, let's see if we can keep the momentum going. We're met with a Stunfisk on the lead. So this is not a great matchup. Like I said, this whole team struggles against Galarian Stunfisk. So we do lag a little bit here. And yeah, I'm just going to stay in this matchup and then wait for them to throw the Rock Slide. And Rock Slide is going to hit for neutral because of the Steel Flying typing. And as soon as they throw, I'm going to switch into my Rotom here. That's my plan typically. So I'm just going to switch into Rotom and really hope that they let the Hydro Pump go through. At this point, they're probably building up all the way to an Earthquake. So actually, this is too soon to be an Earthquake. So it's probably only going to be a Rock Slide, which is why I'm going to let it go through. It's going to do neutral damage to Rotom. And they make a switch into their Ferrothorn. This is a pretty tricky situation, right? Because Ferrothorn resists both electric and water moves because of the grass typing. But like I said, Rotom has such a high attack stat that even though it's resisted, it still does a decent amount of damage there. So because we have a slight energy advantage, I'm going to be able to get to the second Thunderbolt here. This should put the Ferrothorn into the yellow. And they are going to commit to the complete Bullet Seed farm down here, which is not ideal. And I'm really hoping they don't have Thunder, right? Because Skarmory also would struggle against it if they had Thunder. And I'm just going to throw the Sky Attack straight away here. This should definitely get the shield from Ferrothorn because they have a lot of energy built up and they wouldn't want all that energy to go waste. So Sky Attack definitely gets the shield here. And I'm hoping they don't have Thunder here, right? I'm just going to risk it and not shield, hoping they don't have Thunder. I'm really hoping they're running the Power Whip, a Flash Cannon moveset, which seems as if that's the moveset they're running. And at this point, I can probably commit to the complete Sky Attack, Air Slash farm down here. Another charge move coming through. This is probably going to be another Flash Cannon, which is going to put Skarmory pretty low, even though it's resisted. Yeah, puts it pretty low there, which is not ideal. And I'm just going to commit to the complete Air Slash farm down. Unfortunately, it ends up being a double knockout. I probably should have thrown the Sky Attack there. Now it's basically Victini against their 2 Pokemon. Let's see what we can do here. So Stunfisk again, have to shield this up because Rock Slide would do super effective damage because of the fire typing. And Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty tricky, right? It's a very tricky situation because I don't know what's in the back, and they have a Skarmory in the back. This is absolutely perfect. I'm just going to build up to 2 back-to-back V-Creates here and then throw. V-Create is obviously going to do super effective damage against Skarmory because of the fire typing, because of the steel typing, I should say. And almost one-shots it there, and I can just confusion the Skarmory down, right? And at this point, I'm going to have to build up to 2 back-to-back V-Creates here. We still have a shield, so I'm just going to build up to 2 back-to-back V-Creates and then throw here. The first one should definitely get the shield, and I'm really hoping that we can get to the next move before Mudshot kind of takes us out, because we are extremely debuffed at this point in terms of defense. But luckily, I'm able to get to the next V-Create here, and this should definitely one-shot the Stunfisk. So as you can see, Victini with 2 shields basically got rid of Skarmory and Gal Stunfisk as well. And that's just how powerful it can be in being able to close out games, which is why I like having it in the back. And V-Create is just such an awesome move. Even though it heavily debuffs your defense and lowers it. I mean, that's something, it's pretty similar to Wild Charge, obviously, but it's just so hard-hitting that it's worth it. Anyways, we have Skarmory into Toxicroak, a very positive matchup again, because it's going to take super effective damage from these flying moves, and they make a switch into their Hypno. And I'm just going to stay in this matchup and try and win switch advantage here, because Victini can absolutely destroy Toxicroak, right? Toxicroak is going to be double weak to psychic moves because of the poison fighting typing, and it's going to take only 3 or 4 confusions to basically get rid of it. So the only thing I have to watch out for in this matchup is a Thunder Punch, which would do super effective damage, and I have to maintain a switch advantage here, right? So I'm just going to let the first one go through. Thunder Punch obviously does a decent amount of damage there, and I'm going to try and get to the next Sky Attack here before another charge move comes through. Unfortunately, they're able to get to a charge move first, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to shield this up, and like I said, I have to maintain switch advantage to make sure my Victini is lined up against their Toxicroak. And just going to go straight for the Sky Attack here. I'm hoping they let this go through because I want to maintain switch advantage here. They should finish off Hypno if it goes unshielded, gets the shield, which is absolutely fine. And at this point, they're probably going to get to another charge move right about now here. And I was actually thinking, should I shield? Because I typically like saving at least one shield towards endgame. But I'm going to shield this up because, like I said, maintaining switch advantage is going to be absolutely crucial. And I'm just going to commit to the complete air slash farm down here. So we have a lot of loaded energy, and I'm just going to throw the Sky Attack at whatever's going to come out next. It's an Azumarill. So it's about time we saw an Azumarill. So this is great. This is fantastic. This is exactly why I was talking about maintaining switch advantage, because now I could come in with Rotom, which is going to completely wall Azumarill, right? Because everything Azumarill has except Play Rough is going to be resisted because of the water typing, while Thunderbolt is going to do super effective damage. So I'm just going to go straight for the Thunderbolt here. They should either get the shield or finish off Azumarill. And like I said, Rotom is such a hard-hitting Pokemon that it probably would have taken it out from that range. And they're going to throw a charge move right here. Absolutely fine. Nothing they have is going to one-shot the Rotom here, even though it's extremely glassy. Unfortunately, it's a Play Rough, which is not great. So Ice Beam or Hydro Pump would have been ideal in this situation. So I'm just going to go straight for the Thunderbolt here. This is definitely going to finish off the Azumarill from this range. Because it's going to do super effective damage because of the water typing. And yeah, it's pretty much GG's at this point because we have Victini in the back, and it's going to take basically just 3 confusions to delete this Toxicroak here. They're going to throw a charge move. There's going to be a Mud Bomb, which is going to hit for super effective, but Victini can tank a Mud Bomb, right? It's not going to one-shot the Victini here. We still survive with plenty of health left, and then another confusion should pretty much seal the deal there. So Toxicroak basically almost has no play against this team because both Skarmory and Victini completely destroyed, especially Victini. I think any confusion user against Toxicroak is just farm city, right? Even something like Haunter, Gengar, etc. would be a pretty positive matchup, even though they're going to be able to hit back for super effective with those ghost moves. It's still a pretty positive matchup for Victini. Okay, 4-0 right now. Let's see if we can make it 5-0 in the final battle here. We have Skarmory into Cresselia. This is a very positive matchup for Skarmory because everything Cresselia has is going to be resisted, except for Aurora Beam, which would do neutral. But I'm just going to overfarm here because I was anticipating the switch out. But they are staying in this matchup, and they're going to throw a charge move right here. Nothing is really going to hurt Skarmory here. It's going to be a Grass Knot, which is definitely not the move you want to be going for because that's double resisted. Whereas Moonblast is only single resisted, and it at least gives you the chance of lowering your opponent's attack as well. Another charge move coming through. This is going to be an Aurora Beam. So that's actually the best move to go again to use when you're going up against a Skarmory, because that's going to do neutral because of the flying steel typing. And at this point we have 2 back-to-back Sky Attacks, so I'm just going to throw here. First Sky Attack should do a decent amount of damage to Cresselia, so I'm just going to immediately go for the second one. They should either get the shield or put this Cresselia pretty low. Let's see what they decide to do here. They let it go through, which is absolutely perfect. And at this point, I'm just going to commit to the complete air/farm down. Another charge move coming through. Aurora Beam would put us pretty low, but it's definitely not going to take us out, and they're probably not going to get to another charge move, right? So I'm just going to commit to the complete air/farm down here. Yeah, they were probably pretty close to a Grass Knot, but it's okay. They have a Registeel in the back. This is absolutely perfect. I'm just going to stay in this matchup and try and do as much damage as possible. Going to throw the Flash Cannon, which is going to be resisted because of the Steel typing. But it's absolutely fine. Now I can line up my Victini against their Registeel, right? Because Victini completely walls Registeel because it resists both Flash Cannon and Focus Blast. They are going to farm for quite a bit of energy, which is not ideal. But it's okay, right? Because both those charge moves are resisted. I can just come in with Victini and soak up the charge moves here. They make a switch into their Toxicroak, surprisingly. So this is absolutely perfect because a couple of confusions. Unfortunately, they're able to get to a charge move. I'm going to shield this up because this is going to do the most damage out of all the moves that Registeel has as well. And yeah, it's pretty much GG's at this point because we have a lot of loaded energy. And we have two back-to-back V-Creates almost here. Charge move coming through. I'm just going to let it go through. We can survive whatever it is. Flash Cannon, Focus Blast doesn't really matter from this point. Flash Cannon, yeah, does a decent amount of damage, but it's okay. I'm going to build up to two back-to-back V-Creates and then throw here. This should definitely get the shield from Registeel. They do have two shields, however, so I still have to be cautious about that. And first, V-Create gets the shield there. So I'm going to switch into Rotom because we still have loaded energy on Victini. I want to get their final shield so that I can throw the V-Create to finish off the Registeel. That's my plan here. And charge move coming through. I'm just going to let it go through. Luckily, it's only a Flash Cannon bait, which is double resisted because of the water electric typing. And I'm just going to throw the Thunderbolt here. This is definitely going to get the shield from Registeel because their health is pretty low and they wouldn't risk not shielding this. So gets the shield there. This is absolutely perfect. So it doesn't matter what they throw right now. I'm just going to let my Rotom go down because we have loaded energy on Victini. And I can throw immediately at whatever, at this Registeel as soon as Rotom goes down. Focus Blast finishes off Rotom, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to immediately go for the V-Create here. And this is absolutely going to destroy this Registeel. And it's Victini for the win here. So Victini pulls off another victory here. It was definitely the MVP of the set and the MVP of this team composition. And as you can see, absolutely solid team. And I believe that was 5-0, which is pretty surreal, come to think of it, because I just put this team together today in the afternoon and I didn't expect it to perform as well as it ended up doing. So yeah, overall a very positive set and a very solid team comp and something that you could probably try out if you want to try out something interesting, something new to just change things up. If you're just tired of running Azumarills and Registeels all day, this is definitely a team comp that, that's worth considering. So again, these are just some rank 8 battles in the mid 2200, 2300 rating range. That's because I've been experimenting a bunch and that's kind of deterred me from getting to rank 9. But this is a team comp that I plan to use in the longer run and hopefully in season 3 and hopefully get to rank 9 with it as well. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a great time in GoFest and I'll see you in the next one.